You know what it is? It's Lime time. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in another day with the people of comedy. All right here live on Facebook on the streets of our Chicago protests. All right. If you are familiar with our channel, you may know that we do produce a lot of comedy content. All right. Really getting the pulse of the entertainment industry here in Chicago. But we have shifted gears with these protests to come down on the streets and give you live coverage of what's happening among the people. You know what I mean? Not something you see on TV, not what you see through your posts. We want to put you right with everybody and walk with them, show you what's going on side by side. You know what I mean? Give an unbiased, unfiltered narrative of what's happening out here on these streets. Today, we have actually made it to a protest on time. We were actually on time. It's not a little early, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Normally, we've been trying to like hop in and find them and stuff, but we got to this one a little early today. We're at the Shift Chicago March and Gathering that is right here downtown Chicago, meeting at the corner of Franklin Street and Washington Avenue. And the plan for this march is these people are gathering right here. They're gonna, they're congregating, as you can see. If you look, they have congregated, and the plan is to get here again, take to the streets, march to Millennium Park, where they will be rallying over there for a little bit as well. So we're gonna be right here on the ground with you, doing that, just sort of seeing what is going on with people. Now we got a little nervous at first. We didn't think a lot of people were coming, and we thought it was gonna be a little. What's up? Radescu's here. Hey, everybody. Radescu's here. Hollywood Hopkins. You know what I mean?
I'm excited to see all this again. Do this run with these guys, and then I just did a walkthrough through the crowd here. It just seems pockets of groups right now, just kind of discussing, passing, divulging information towards each other. You see a couple of people with representative shirts, so you know who's kind of running the ordeal here, and it's like two cops. So. Right now, it just seems like they're just kind of gathering up, and they've got water and other sort resources and things like that for people here.
This really looks like a hang, y'all. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's a very social group type thing. Like, no more than 4 people to a group. It seems.
Like, even the cop, like, look at this. Even these police are over here. They're just like, it's just, I guess we're walking today. It's weird. That's the lowest amount of cops we've seen, 2 of them. This is nuts, man. Let's see. Let's go. We're going to go in here and look and see what's happening. Right now, because eventually everybody wants to march and stuff, and Danny Lime is going to be right there for you. But I really like that. I like that color scheme right there. My guy's fresh. That guy's fresh, man. You missed this dude had on some lime green. Maybe I need to start wearing all lime green, guys. We're going to put a poll up in there. If you're watching this, does Danny Lime need to be wearing lime green all day? Okay, let me know. All right. Again, if you're watching this, we encourage you to share what's going on, start a watch party, do whatever you can to spread this message, man. At the end of the day, first and foremost, we want to spread the proper message of what's going on here. Let people know, obviously, Black Lives Matter. We want to see justice for a lot of different people, and continue to let our voices be heard and everything we're out here. So it's a nice day, man. It's a nice day. I'm gonna give you guys a chance. We're gonna walk around, let you guys see what's going on, and then I'll come click back in and describe to you what's happening in a second. So just go take a look at what's happening. I'll be right here.
What's happening? Tell people what's happening.
Exactly like Radescu said, we've right here on the corner. We made it right underneath the sign of Franklin Street. We're just here gathering. 11:30, and we're going to go and start marching and things like that. So in the meantime, people are gathering here. We got it's a small, definitely a much smaller group than what we've been a part of. But 11:30 for sure.
11:30 start time.
So it's 11:30. We're gonna start marching here. And, hey, everybody's chilling. It's
Still more people coming.
yeah. So it is. It's what's happening here. But again, you see a lot of young people who are out here first and foremost. I think that that's what's been leading the charge as far as people being involved and stuff like that. A lot of different, a very very diverse group. It's a new day, man. It is just a new day, and it's very encouraging to see this generation, fight so hard for something. It's the fight of our lives, bro. That's what we're doing, But which one we're gonna do right here? Bring it to you at the People of Comedy, baby. All right, we're gonna show it to you. Hey guys, what's up? Thank you. You guys want to say something? You want to say something? Oh no, it's for everybody. Yeah, we're news. We're doing the news. She's here in solidarity, man. She said this is for me. Hey, appreciate that. I think she was trying to say this is for black people, which we like that. Danny Lime, you know what I mean? Danny Lime's out here making connections, baby. We're out here on the streets doing our thing, all right? This is nice. Let's see what's happening over here. Oh, I thought he was talking to me. Sorry, he's on the phone. Yes. Oh. Yeah, nice. Have you? Oh, I like that. So we see making our way through the crowd. If you were able to look around, it's a lot of things. We have reading material here, stuff that all promotes social justice and that type of thing. It's always good to have things like that to educate people on the subject. You want people to know a lot more about the information. Honk, honk. All right, brother. You want people to know a lot more about the information that's going on for sure. But, you know, this table right here is set up with like reading materials and that type of thing. I'm actually very curious. Hello, sir. I'm actually very curious to see what is going on here. Let's go look at this table. Let's go see what's on this table. Yes. Oh, yes. Wow, this is nice. Do you mind if we get a shot of your table? Do you mind? Oh, please. Thank you, sir. Wow. This is all of our reading material. So we're as you can see here. Oh yes, please. Do you want to tell us about what's going on here? Would you mind? Hold on. Let me see. Oh, so we have see here. Start. Yes. Would you like to? Yeah, we're over here filming for our news channel. We just wanted to show what was going on at this rally here and explain, like, you know, what was going on at this table. I see a lot of reading material here. A lot of
about how to make a revolution and overthrow capitalism and bring the workers to power, which is the only way to eliminate police brutality. The police cannot be reformed under capitalism. They will always be a repressive force used against the working class, especially against blacks. No amount of sensitivity training, no amount of civilian review board, no amount of defund the police can change the fact that the police defend the rich. In a society where the rich get richer, the workers get poor, and the cops are here to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Only a revolution of the working class can change that.
I like that, and that's what you have. And that's what you have here. I see you have a lot of stuff. What's that? This one caught my eye, actually. Fascism, what it is and how to fight it, right there. This is a Trotsky thing, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just, it takes on different faces. You know what I mean?
Are you with the news media?
We are the people of comedy. Yes, we're a local.
Allison Kennedy was running for president of the United States on the Socialist.
Oh, really?
Party.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Hi. Yes,
My
please.
statement.
Please.
And,
Thank you. Tell us about yourself, please. We're a young local news outlet. We normally produce comedy shows, but we're covering the streets and meeting people at these protests. So tell us about yourself.
Well, my name's Allison Kennedy.
Yes.
I'm the Socialist Workers Party candidate for President of the United States.
This is a real thing, guys. She's got it right here.
Yeah.
This lady is running.
And my running mate, Malcolm Jarrett, he's not here because he's actually traveling to a small town near St. Louis, Missouri to participate in a protest there. And that's what's so inspiring about what we're seeing now in the world, that these protests have taken place in over 1,000 cities, small towns, and rural areas in the United States. They take place in small coal towns in Pennsylvania that are 100% Caucasian, organized by high school students that have never done anything like this in their lives. Many people that come to these things have never been to protests.
Yeah.
And it's a new generation coming into politics. This is very, very important for the future of humanity, I believe. Because our party believes the only way we're going to change things is to make a revolution in the United States. And the working people and farmers take political power. But you can't do that just by wishing it.
Yeah.
You know, we have to build a revolutionary movement. And we believe that the struggles that we see against police brutality today, the unprecedented size of these marches, they're every day, combined with some important fights we're seeing in the workplace today, are the kinds of things that lay the basis for bigger movements in the coming years that will enable us to build a powerful movement, a revolutionary movement to take power. And that's you know what the message we're bringing in this campaign.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate all of that. That was like beautiful to get on our channel. You have no idea.
Do you have any questions? Or?
I mean, no. I'd have to read your mission statement. Read your this platform here. It says worldwide protests hit cops' killing of George Floyd. We must build a powerful, disciplined, working class movement. When you say that, what do you
am I talking about? Well, we think that this statement was actually put out when we began to see the big protests in Minneapolis and other cities around the killing of George Floyd. It was right at the beginning of that. And at these protests, especially, well, it wasn't so much during the day, but in the night, you saw looting and violence.
Yeah.
Now, some of that I think it's calmed down quite a bit. You're not seeing as much of it. But I think the reason is because now the protesters are demanding that these marches be disciplined. They don't tolerate this kind of stuff. This turns working people off. I met a lot of working people on the campaign trail that have told me they would have liked to go to the protest, but they're afraid of the looting and they're afraid they're going to get hurt.
Yeah, that's an honest.
And but we think that if the movement, if we can get the working class involved, especially the unions involved in massive ways, it will help make these protests disciplined. And a lot of these protests are having marshals now, which is very good.
Yeah. That's something we've noticed is that they've created resources to be between protesters and law enforcement.
Yes,
so,
that's very important.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of protests like when some kid, some whoever, people wanted to loot a store, they'll stop it.
Yeah.
And they'll prevent it.
Yeah.
And there was I don't know if you saw on the news about this truck driver that drove his rig into this protest on this highway in Minneapolis. I really believe he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't think he was deliberately trying to run these protesters over. But, these trucks are very heavy. It's hard for them to stop them. And but some of the protesters started to drag him out of his truck to beat him up. And some other protesters intervened and got him out off the highway to protect his life. But it's these kinds of things we're seeing that are very important because it's important we have unity and we make this these protests as broad as possible and as inclusive as possible.
Yeah.
And on the campaign trail, I recently went to Eastern Washington, in the state of Washington, where the most of the fruit that we eat is grown in the United States. Cherries, apples, other fruits, especially apples. And there's a lot of mainly Mexican workers that work in the fields, in the orchards, picking the fruit. And then they also, many of them work in these fruit packing plants, packing the fruit. And about a month ago, six fruit packing plants went out on strike.
Yeah.
And originally it was around, they weren't given safety for coronavirus. But then it grew into a fight for higher wages and better working conditions. But I was able to visit their picket lines. It was very inspiring to talk to them. And it's why our campaign supports amnesty for undocumented workers. We think that's a very important thing. We also support a massive public works program to put millions of workers to work. And we also support the Cuban Revolution and demand that the U.S. embargo be ended. Cuba's a real example today. They've ended coronavirus in Cuba. They've got it under control.
Wow.
But anyway, let's get to the protest.
Yes.
You can hear the crowds.
Well, we are so thankful for you, Miss Kennedy. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, your listeners can contact us at themilitant.com.
Please.
Look up themilitant.com,
Yes.
themilitant.com online. It's our weekly newspaper.
Yes.
This is what it looks like. We also have books. This is one of the books. PathfinderPress.com, revolutionary literature.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you very
ma'am.
much.
No, thank you.
Where are you guys from? Could I
We are,
ask?
yes, we're the People of Comedy Network. We are a local independent Facebook. Actually, we're a comedy channel.
Really?
But we decided to switch and cover our protests online. So instead of getting stuff from the news or on stuff. We want to be with the people and let them see what's going on in the community, you know?
All of our main stuff is facebook.com/peopleofcomedy.
Yeah, so you find
Where
us.
do you-
Can I get a photograph of you interviewing
Of course, yes, of course.
Putting the microphone in front of me.
And so we
Okay.
have, and so like we have like our following is mainly a lot of young people from Chicago. We have actually people follow us all over the country now. We've gone,
We're worldwide, baby.
You put your news online, stream it.
Yep,
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
streaming right now.
Yes, ma'am.
YouTube,
Oh, really?
Facebook, Twitch, and-
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
cool.
it's pretty much about anywhere from about a few thousand people are watching
Yeah.
us all the time. You know, it's online obviously, but yeah, that's how the message gets
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
of course,
And,
thank you so much.
all
We
right.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you. We're gonna see you down there.
This area, come to the Socialist Workers Party campaign office in Chicago.
Yes,
sometime.
yes, we will. We
Yeah.
will. We'll be there for
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
We have forums. I don't have the forum for next week. They're every Friday at 7:30. We just had this forum last night.
Okay.
But next week it's going to be about, I think it's going to be about China.
Okay.
And so anyway, you're
Yeah,
one
I would
of
like
our-
to know.
yeah.
Check this out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys, thank you. Be safe. Thank you. Thank you. So we have definitely, that was a treat for you guys right there, okay? What you saw, Miss Kennedy here is running for president. She is literally running for president. That's crazy. So now we are running to get to this protest, all right? Because Danny Lime is over here talking. That was great, though. I'm so glad, honestly. I'm glad we stood there and talked to her, man. You get to see somebody who really cares about what's going on in this community, in the world, really, man. She had a lot of stuff, a lot of information, man. It was, that was powerful, man. Guess that's what it's like being in the presence of a presidential candidate, right, James? You know what I mean? That lady has some juice. All right, so we are running to catch up to the protest guys. We let them get away from us. Again, we told you they have been marching down Washington Street, making their way to Millennium Park. And we got behind them a little bit, but we're close up now. All right. I think we can walk, James. I think we can walk.
I'm gonna stop smoking.
Woo. No, James. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. No, thank you. Yes. That lady gets it. I will go interview her too, but then we'd have to run again to the protest. Danny Lime's out of breath today.
I'm stopping.
Well, we stopped. We made our way to LaSalle. We are here, coming up Washington Avenue. We're occupying this particular. Let you guys listen in to what's going on.
And to the gay community matters, to everybody, every color, every human, every opinion, every life matters. Nothing matters. Injustice here is injustice everywhere. And so we come together today that we do not stop. You have to realize this isn't a moment thing. That this is a lifetime thing. And do not get hooked on these protests that are just here to get you riled up and hyped up. Because that's not what we're about. And it's sad to know that we have to walk, we have to scream just to breathe, just to live. We shouldn't have to. Nobody wants to have to be out here every day. But it's sad that we have to. And so if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it right, we're gonna do it peacefully. And so I'm just asking you guys, in your communities, where you come, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, because I feel like that's what's been getting a lot of us for years, is that we've been afraid to speak up. Right. We've been afraid, so we're gonna lift them high. We're gonna let them know that Black Lives Matter.
Thank you, guys. Black Lives Matter.
And I said Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Keep going on.
That's right.
I got bandages, I got water, anybody need medical assistance? I got medical assistance right here. George Floyd! George Floyd! Medical assistance! George Floyd! Right here.
Breanna Taylor! Move to the front.
We're going to the front. Black Lives Matter. Okay, you know. So as you guys just saw right there, that was one of our organizers. Huh?
Sound?
Sound is good. I heard it. Yeah, we're good. So one of our organizers, as you can saw, gave you a little speech right there in the intersection. So now we're going to the front here so you can get a better look at what these people look like, okay? We're going to back up, we'll walk backwards. You can see people, the numbers have definitely grown, and it's been a great thing, you know? There we go. Black Lives Matter. It's hard not to chant, man. I love it. I love it. We will say we were a little skeptical early on. Not sure what was happening with this, but as you can see now, everyone's come together. At the end of the day, it's about that message, man, and people can see. We're in the streets now. It's really nice downtown. It echoes through the city too, which makes it very impactful. I mean, look, you have people who are here on the streets. You got to stop. They stop what they're doing. People have joined us since we've come in here. It's just like every other protest, man. It's been a beautiful thing. It's remain peaceful, remain powerful, and the same message gets across here, you know? So, look, this is great. All right. You guys listen to what's going on. Danny Lime needs to get his own picture.
This has been a fight that's been going on for a long time. And if we haven't realized by now, that fight is still going on. This didn't just start in 2009. This started in 14, whatever. This has been a 400-year fight, 500-year, 600-year fight. And it's crazy that after generation, after some of our grandparents, great-grandparents, even great-great-great-parents are still fighting, even in their graves. So we're screaming on the day, not just Black Lives Matter, we're screaming for everybody. Yes, we do believe every life matters, but right now we have to shine a light on a life that is being taken every day. So, what do we believe? Black Lives Matter. What do we believe? Black Lives Matter. What do we believe? Black Lives Matter. So let's say his name. George Floyd. Let's say her name. Breonna Taylor. Let's say his name. George Floyd. And let's say her name. Breonna Taylor. Thank you guys for coming again. That's right. Really quick before we leave, I just want to say, like I've been saying, is that there's a community of people that are hurt right now. I had a disconnection between my Hispanic and brown community, just like many of you guys have had a disconnect between the black community. But after conversation, learning that we have hundreds and thousands of young individual childs locked up in cages, this is a system that is hurting everybody of color, everybody. And so we're unifying, saying that we all matter. Every person of color in our country, racism is the founder of our country. Come on now, brother. And so if you talk about what can we do to change, it starts by redoing everything. It's like a bad house. You can fix all you want to fix, but if the foundation is weak, it's going to stay weak. And so we got to come together and continue to push. We can push all this legislation in the world that we want, but until the hearts of our leaders change, nothing will change. Right. And so we got to elect people that look like us. Elect people that represent your community. I shouldn't have an entire white city council, a white mayor, an entire where a majority of black people live. It's time that things change. It's time the system changes, and if the system doesn't change, we have to change. Right. If they don't want to get out of their spots, we'll make them leave. We've elected a mayor here in Chicago, first black woman. But guess what? That's just the start. There's still things in place that even still prevent us from. It's crazy that in 2020, we can still say the first black. Right. The first black. And people cheer, but for me, I have to think about the people that have come before me to allow us to get here. I think about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all the people that walked streets from city to city. We're marking less than a mile. So the least we can do is come out here, encourage each other. And for my non-people of color, this isn't an attack against you. It's an attack against the hateful heart of people who don't want to admit the racism that we have in our country.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
The moment we can identify with the issue is the moment that we can decide we have something to change. But if we decide to be quiet and hide, nothing will ever change. And so I want to encourage you, go back to your community, go to your high school, go to your college, go to your elementary, go to your workplaces, and advocate for every life that is being oppressed by this very system. And I understand that there are people that are not of color that are still oppressed, but I want you to know something. We're not saying that you're not included, but what we're saying is that until we unify, until we come together as one, we're going to continue to be down.
Right.
We're going to continue to have to try to work harder and yell and scream. And I plan on having a son and a daughter one day, and I plan on them having kids so I can have grandkids. And I don't want to have to see them walk up and down these streets screaming for justice. And so no justice,
no peace,
no racist,
no peace,
no justice,
no peace,
no racist,
no peace,
no justice,
no peace,
no racist,
no peace,
no justice,
no peace.
Okay, you guys, we have continued to move our way up Washington Avenue. We are coming up to State Street. We've just crossed over North Dearborn. As you can hear, man, you're hearing the voice of a young generation, man. You're hearing the voice of people who want to see a different type of future. You're hearing the voice of just people who want to be understood, you know what I mean? We don't want to keep sharing this with younger people. We don't want to put this on the next generation. We want to end what's going on. So it's very important that we follow what's going on here. All right, no problem. That's fine. Sorry, I'm just out of breath. You seeing Dan Lime getting real out of breath right now.
Yet they still choose to keep these same institutions up that do nothing for our communities. I go to the west, to the south, and to the east side of Chicago, and I even look in our western suburbs too as well. You're looking at Maywood, there are food deserts that don't even have a grocery store. I look at all these cities around here and all these mayors and all these politicians that have got up saying Black Lives Matter. Well, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. And move those liquor stores.
When everything shut down, I saw that the liquor stores, like you just said, was an essential item. But our schools weren't.
The hospitals weren't either.
Hospitals weren't. Things after things just, unless you were in dire need, wasn't. And so actually we really have to look that this is something that we have to change. We have to be the change that we want to see. We can no longer wait on them. We've waited too long. This is something that every day I want you guys to be a part of. If it's a committee that you do in your community. I know Forest Park just started something called Forest Park Against Racism. You have the ability to do that at your high school. Do it wherever you're going. I had the pleasure to leave here and travel to Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, where today, right now, I'm watching our president sit and rally with a lot of people that are still ignorant for what we're fighting for. Yeah. Yes. And all I can do for him is pray for him because his mind is made up at this point. And all we can do is, he's one person and he has a lot of power, but when November comes, when November comes, you have the ability to be the leader in your community. You might be out here protesting now, but show up in November. Encourage those 18 olders in your community. You can call, make sure you guys are doing a census, make sure you guys are getting the representation of our community that we need. Yes. It's been going on too long, It's time for a change. It's time for affordable health care for everybody. It's time that our school systems, that in lower income communities, we have school books that are up to date and not just still worshiping the same people that slandered our people. It's time that we redo what we want. And it's gonna start with us. No justice,
no peace.
No justice,
no peace.
No racist,
police.
No justice,
no peace.
No racist,
police.
No justice,
no peace.
No racist,
police.
No justice,
no peace.
So there's nothing really, there's nothing I can really add to that, guys. I'm telling you, that was just, it all speaks for itself, you know what I mean? We're right here in the midst of it. Again, you're tuned in. You're watching the People of Comedy Network. Thank you, guys. for tuning in. If you're watching this, you can see we are on the streets here covering our protests that are happening right here in Chicago, all right? And we are with the Shift Chicago organization, and this march has started back on Franklin, is making its way over east on Washington so we can get to Millennium Park. We're going to get to Millennium Park and rally there. But as you can see, we've taken the streets here. You see people behind me. A few more police now. It's funny. We see more police now. I think as our numbers have grown, we went from having 2. I think we're up to 6 now, James. Oh, no, 8. I've seen 8. Look at that. So this is working. And as you can see, man, as we've moved down, sort of gained our numbers and stuff like that, you see people on the side of the streets working hard too. You know what I mean? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you about people watching, seeing us right here. But you can hear the passion in these people, man. Same as we've seen always, but it is peaceful. You know what I mean? But just take a look and listen. Just feel that. You gotta feel it.
No peace. No police.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
Stop the killing.
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 Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
All right, guys. Stepped out to check on the sound or whatever. If you guys are hearing good feed, let us know. Also, once again, we encourage you, man, share this. Please share it. Start a watch party. Let people see what's going on in these cities, man. Let people see what's going on the streets, man. You're hearing the voice of a young generation. You hear the cries of the people, man. And it's a very beautiful thing to happen. You know what I mean? We here at the People of Comedy are here covering it. And we all want to be supportive of what's going on, man. It's just, it's a very emotional thing. This particular march went from being like it's a small gathering. The energy picked up as we went too. You could feel it's just like the longer these people walk, the more they chant those words and say that, the more emotion comes out, man. And it's just added so much life to what's going on right now. I'm glad we stuck around. I'm glad we stuck around to watch it. I'm glad we are being a part of it. You know what I mean? And I'm glad we can bring this to you guys. So please, 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 please share this in as many ways as you can, man. Put Danny Lime all over the country, man. Put him over, man. We're trying to bring the truth to people. We're trying to bring the truth to the people. That's what we want. So that's my piece, man. I can't hijack this at all, man. This has been an amazing demonstration, and everything I've said only echoes what these people have said, man. These people are the real heroes, man. These people putting this together, fighting this fight, actually fighting for policy. These are people who are trying to fight for policy. These are people that are trying to put new legislation in place and all that stuff. We are just they're doing the best that they can, man, on the real front lines. We can be out here on the streets as much as we want, man, but there is so much more work to be done. You heard what that man said. You know, November is going to come, elections, and elections don't just happen every 4 years, man. Elections happen all the time. Learn about your local government. Learn about different people. Learn about the candidate that we met, Miss Allison Kennedy. Even if you don't agree with what her platform is, learn about these people. Learn what these people, who they are, and how their interest serves yours. Learn if they're really looking out for you. That's where the change is going to start. So keep watching, man. Keep educating yourself, guys. We've made our way now. We are at Washington and Michigan, and they've actually, this is probably the most powerful thing, maybe the busiest street in Chicago. They have it walled off for these protesters. So that's where we will walk through as we make our way to what our destination is supposed to be, which is Millennium Park. So, yes. Yes, see people standing on both sides. Black lives matter. Man, our way. And you see they've occupied the whole intersection, and we've got to Millennium Park now.
No peace. No justice. No peace.
Pardon me.
No justice. No peace. No racist. Police. No racist. Police. No racist. Police. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter.
Yeah.
Sir,
Why are you
we are
laughing?
on private property. We are
already had the discussion. You didn't contact them. They're private.
My question is, what are you guys doing protecting them?
Why are you protecting?
Why are you protecting them? We
I'm not talking to you, sir.
The park's open, correct?
That's right.
Correct.
You don't let him in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Black Lives Matter!
Man, that's change at work right there, guys.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! No peace!
You want to comment on that or
Oh
what?
man, I mean, we literally
So
just
the
watched that.
Lieutenant Commander of the police.
Lieutenant Commander of the police had to come step in and tell an officer to let us walk through the park. That was, it was some real stuff, man. Honestly, because we saw it there. We saw it there. It was great. But that's the truth, man. That was just real change, bro. I can't even begin to describe what was.
George Floyd! George Floyd!
Pardon me, guys. Sorry, man.
George Floyd! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! No peace!
Hello, guys.
No peace! No peace!
Oh, so you can see now, we are making our way through Millennium Park, man. If you're just tuning in, more people have now joined in. What's going on here? You saw a moment where the police officers tried to block us off and keep us from coming into the park, and the lieutenant commander had to step in and make the officer move, and that type of thing. You know, this is a movement unlike any other, man. You know what I mean? Police checking other police. James, we got that live, baby.
That's unheard of.
You guys saw that right
You know
here.
what that is? That's 3 straight weeks of protest.
That is 3. Yes, that's what it is. That's why we got to stay out here. That's why we got to keep doing stuff like this. We need to. So we've gathered up at the front. It seems like there's more talking. You want to go?
Yeah.
We're gonna go around and try and get a better volume. So I'm gonna slide in. Let's do it. I'm not gonna run on that.
Near the mic.
And we have to be a voice for the voiceless, hope for the hopeless, faith for the faithless. It starts right here. So what do we say? Black Lives Matter!
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 I want to let you know something. We're coming out here today not just to come and protest and make our voices known, but this is a stepping stone. This is just the beginning. And we have to make it our duty to stand not just together, but in unity in the face of division and opposition, where we will be known. What we have done today, what we are doing today will literally shock. It will go forward from years from now and years from then. You are literally right now protecting the lives of the unborn for people that will come. You want to know why we say their name? We say their name because for any black person, that could be you or me. We say George Floyd because that could be you. We say Breonna Taylor because that could be you. Ahmaud Arbery, Laquan McDonald, Trayvon Martin, and so many other people that have been buried in injustice. We stand here today to say, although Black Lives Matter, and that's why we're here. I see black people, I see brown people, I see Hispanic people, I see white people. We stand in unity. We stand in unity. We stand for equality. We stand for change. And it's these moments where you feel that fire of passion stirring within you. It's just the beginning. It's not the end. Don't come here and feel like, okay, I marched. I did my job. No, there's so much more to do. I love something Jaleel said. Jaleel said, this is just the start. And he talked about how there's so many different people here, but I really want you to know that what you're doing today makes a difference. But it's not just what you do today, it's the decision that you make day after day.
That's right.
It's a decision you make when you ignore, or not even ignore, but deal with the stereotype that is rooted now hatred in your hearts.
Or you deal with thoughts that cross your mind and you just, it's not maybe overtly prejudiced, but it's racist. Change starts at the heart. Change starts within. And when change starts within, it has no choice but to go out.
Come on.
When change starts inside of here, it has no choice but to go out. And I don't know about you guys today, but I feel a fire burning within me. I feel a fire burning within me. And people might say, why are you so passionate? Why is it such a big deal? Because justice should be for everyone. I should not have to beg for justice. We should not have to beg for justice. Justice should be a necessity just like everybody's breath. But even today, that's stolen too. Justice should be for every child and youth, but even every day, their lives are broken too. We have an opportunity to be a part of the solution. And I want to say something before we move on. People say, oh, you have to take action, but what does that look like? Because a lot of people resort to violence. A lot of people resort to looting. A lot of people resort to all these things, looting and shooting, right? But I want to let you know something today. Peace is not passive. Peace is passionate. Peace is passionate. You're all here because you're peaceful and you're passionate. You're all here because you want change. You're all here because you want justice. Peace is passionate. 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 I need to hear you. Peace is passionate. 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 Peace is passionate.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we're still here at Millennium Park, making our way down through the park now. You can see our marchers, our protesters have begun to walk all the way through here, made their speeches, said their marked pieces and that type of stuff here. Here, James, go ahead. You want to drink that water, James? I can film for a minute if you want. I got you.
Peace is power. 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 Peace is power.
Okay.
Peace is power. Peace is power. Peace is power. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Peace is power. Peace is power. Peace is power. Peace is power.
And now, as you can see, we are coming down into the amphitheater.
Peace is
Very it's a very powerful move.
Peace is power.
Smart move.
Nope. But
They're catalytic.
it's a bold move. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you watching at home, we are now marching our way through Millennium Park. We are marching through the actual amphitheater of the park. This is important here. The band shell. And as you can see, if you look around here, very iconic spot in Chicago. We have occupied this space. It's a very beautiful thing. Hopefully, we're trying to take advantage of this place for its acoustics, more than likely. Hopefully we can be heard. All right. We can take up, if you want to take up a position behind, we should probably stay in the
song it says, aligning with the vision, the words that we're saying here, we ask for respect for you. Keep that. Keep it to a minute and 30 seconds. And we just want to encourage, everybody to keep this going. I decided I didn't want to make this an all-day thing because guess what? Us marching all day doesn't mean they're going to change.
That's right.
It means getting you out of your household, out of your comfortability, out of your nice house, to come down here in communities where people don't have it as nice as you. I challenged all my non-friend of colors. I said, you know what? She asked, what can I do? I said, get out of your household, go about 15 miles down the road from Oak Park, and visit some of these West Side neighborhoods. Visit them. And she said at that very moment, she realized that she had racism. And it wasn't even racism, just this instilled lifestyle that she didn't even know that was inside of her. But she said, I can't go down. And at first she said, it's because I'm a girl. Wait, no, it's not because I'm a girl. Because I'm a white girl.
Wow.
And so the moment we can come to identify that this is a race issue, this is a hate issue, this is an ignorant issue. The reason why many people are still racist is because they're ignorant.
Right.
They lack the knowledge of what we're trying to share. And nobody's trying to put down the white race. I think it's been up for a while. I mean, I don't know what that's about. And, nobody out here is against every life. Nobody is against any community. All we're saying is we're advocating for ours. We want you to do the same. But we want to do it with you, and we want to do it right. We want this to continue. Go to your communities, have these talks, learn from each other, grow from each other. So the first person I'm going to have come up is going to be Cody Cotton. He's going to introduce himself, what he's doing in the Chicagoland area with his foundation, and thank you guys.
All right.
Thank you. Jalil, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Everybody who showed up today, thank you, but again, this is not enough. Just want to start with saying my name is Cody Cotton, co-founder of a Greater Good Foundation. We're a youth mentoring nonprofit, local city, West Side, South Side, Gary, Indiana. The next step, we're still in phase one, people. It's more than just marching, it's more than just coming out here standing, but we have to get down to the root of it. We have to understand, before we tackle and dismantle any problem, any goal, or any system, we have to understand the root, and it all begins with self-education. We can't understand the system until we really start to educate ourselves to understand that we weren't educated in schools. We weren't. We literally wasn't educated in schools. We were indoctrinated. We were told what to think. We were told what to believe. It's time that we have to get back to the root of it and start asking the tough questions, start asking why. We say all the time, the quality of the question will determine the quality of the answer. So I ask you today, how long are you willing to be committed to the cause?
Till November.
To November, right?
At least.
I believe it, to at least. We're starting somewhere. I'm not asking for everybody to be perfect, but this is something you have to ask yourself every single day. How willing are you to stay committed to it? Are you only committed because it's convenient? Are you committed because it's quarantine? Are you committed because it's just cool to do right now? We're already upset. We're pinned up in the house. We just want to get upset. Or are we actually going to focus on solutions?
That's right, brother.
Where attention goes, energy flows. We have to put our attention towards the solutions. Not just right now, but even when mainstream media shifts our attention, we have to bring it right back to the root. This is the first march I've been a part of. Literally the first march. Jalil had my heart when he said he wanted to do it because I believe in our youth. Our youth would change. I'm only 25. I'm still a part of the youth. I understand. But I understand that marching can only do so much. We have to build a safe space where we can build perspective, understanding, and community. Not just with people of color, but with everybody. So I ask you guys today, do not just leave ramped up. Don't just leave a little bit tired. Go back home, educate yourself, watch a video, go to YouTube, go to Facebook, join the Brave Men, join the Let's Grow Together group message. We're connecting, serving, and growing every single day. This is just the beginning. Much love.
Yes, yes. guys doing today. I just want to first say thank you guys so much. We need everyone that's here, actually. You know, one thing that I want people to understand is that this started with a black individual getting killed, but this is totally about all of us. My name is Lamar. I'm the co-founder of the No More Foundation. Started because of everything that happened. I felt like it was time for me to make a stand, and I am at a no more moment in my life to where I need everyone to understand that we are the people that made this happen. We are the people that can change this. And that is why we need every single one of you every day. If you just look around, you will see someone that does not look exactly like you, that you've never met, right? So that means that we are making something happen, right? We have everyone. Right. We have everyone from all over the world siding with us this time. So it's totally not like 68, if we know what I'm talking about. What we are doing right now can definitely change the world. We just have to remember that every single day. Do not stop, guys. Do not stop. And like Jalil said, go back to your neighborhood, talk to your friends, even when you have that drink, when you eat that meal, and remind them that they can make a difference also. This is his first march. It won't be his last.
Yeah! Woo! Yeah!
I'm gonna have Jasmine from the Firehouse Street.
I'm Jasmine Lopez.
Hey, hey.
I live in Maywood, Illinois. Do you guys know where Maywood is?
Shout out to Maywood!
We are just outside of the city, neighbors with River Forest. We're under-resourced, food desert, a lot of challenges that we face. So I started a nonprofit called the Firehouse Stream, where we partner with creatives of color to teach skill sets to our youth. Not just in Maywood, but in the Chicagoland area. So if you are interested in partnering with us, feel free to reach out. Follow us at the Firehouse Stream on Instagram, or come and talk to me here. But we're looking to really create a movement to use the arts and partner it with restorative justice, and understand that our stories matter, and to amplify the voices of millennials and Gen Zers.
Yes, yes, yes. Very good.
Something real quick before I go on to the next speaker. I just wanted to say, the reason why I reached out, the people that are speaking, I want you to know something. I'm 19. All these people that are helping me are people that, as I was going through high school, this man here, Cody Khan, was a substitute in my classroom. I tried the niche class because I knew he was a substitute. He told me, no, sit back down. And ever since then, he stayed on my butt, helping me make change. Jasmine moved into the community, and just because she didn't look like the community, she knows she wanted to change for what the community can look like. And so that can be each and one of us. You don't have to, I tell people, you don't have to look like me to be for me. So next up, I'm gonna have somebody come and speak on another community that's hurting. Because a lot of people are hurting. And so we want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to speak on the hurt, because we're all hurting.
I didn't want to speak today. I don't like speaking at these things because I like to be I like to amplify the voices that need to be heard. No one needs to hear another white person speak. We've been speaking for way too long. However, I like to come here to all these marches with my little red satchel, with my water, with my first aid kit, with masks sometimes, to do what I can to be more than just another white voice in the crowd. However, I don't like going outside normally because if you look at me, I look like a male. I just know I do. But I'm not. I'm non-binary, I'm trans femme, and I'm not a fucking male. I may have a dick, but I'm not a male. And that's just a fact. By the way, Flint, Michigan still does not have water. Still does not have water. But the main thing I want to say, the only thing I really want to say is, we say George Floyd, we say Breonna Taylor, also rest in peace, Toya, by the way. We say these names not just for them, but for them and so many others, including Dustin Parker, Nelisa Luciano Ruiz, sorry for saying that wrong, Yampi Mendez Archo, I'm really struggling, Manika Diamond, Lexi, Joanna Metzger, Serena Angelique Valquez Ramos, Layla Pelez Sanchez, Penelope Diaz Ramirez, Nina Pop, Hale J. O'Regan, Tony McDade, Dominique Ramey-Fells, Rhea Milton, Jane Thompson, and so many more. Mostly black trans women that are killed on a daily basis. So it's not just black men, it's not just black women, it's not just black trans people. It's all of us. All of us. So say something, do something, stay angry, stay safe. Next gentleman on board.
Well, my name is Allison Kennedy. I'm running for president of the United States on the Socialist Workers Party ticket. I don't think the way forward now is to vote for Joe Biden or Donald Trump. That is a no-win for what we're doing in the United States. There is a change going on in this country. A new generation, a young generation is coming into politics. And I'm not talking about the politics of electing a Democrat or Republican. I'm talking about the politics of building a mass movement, a working class movement, that we can push back these cops, that we can get these cops jailed and prosecuted. There's no way to reform the police. We live in a capitalist country. Look at what's happened with coronavirus. That comes through very starkly. The rich rule, the rich control, the wealthy class control. And we have to make a fundamental change in this country. But we've got to start by standing up for our rights, and that's what's going on today. It's a very inspiring thing to me. And it's taking place in cities all across the country. There are small little towns all across Pennsylvania, all across Texas, all kinds of states that are 99.9% Caucasian that are having marches just like this. They affect the working class. They affect people that have to work for a living, because we see that this society is not meeting the needs of the majority. We have to come up with something different. I want to end because I don't want to take up all the time, but I really encourage you to check out the newspaper, socialist newsweekly called The Militant. It's a bilingual newspaper, and it covers the struggles of working people. What I think is so important today is these big protests we're seeing are massive, unprecedented protests, worldwide protests around that began with the killing of George Floyd, but they're not going to end until we get all these cops prosecuted and charged. They've been fired, but they have not been charged. We have to keep up these protests. But I think at the same time, we're seeing some very important struggles going on by workers that work in the factories, in the fields. I was just recently in Washington State, visited workers who work in packing houses, packing fruit that have been on strike, demanding better conditions. They're mostly undocumented workers from Mexico. There's other examples like this. They're janitors. I just saw a thing about these janitors, not janitors, but sanitation workers in Philadelphia that were protesting the conditions where they work. And their main sign was Black Lives Matter at work. And that is true. Our working people's lives matter in this country. And the only way we're going to achieve that is we build a different kind of society. My perspective is we have to build a revolutionary movement and make a revolution in this country, like they did in Cuba. Cuba is an example for us today. Cuba is an example. They have no police in Cuba. Why? Because they made a revolution. That's why. I know. I visited Cuba. I've seen this for myself. They have pretty much eliminated coronavirus. Cuba is the only country in the world that sent doctors to some of the worst countries that have been the hardest hit by coronavirus, because things aren't organized for profit. So anyway, I'm going to stop. Keep up your fight here. I used to live in Chicago. I was here when the video came out, when Rahm Emanuel couldn't suppress it anymore, the video of Laquan McDonald getting shot 16 times in the back. And I'll never forget the march I went to here around that. It was very inspiring. And these are also inspiring because it's a new generation. And keep up the good work.
Thank you.
information. I told you I'm on the wrong side of the tracks. I'm not related to the wealthy Kennedys. My family's working class. So that's my name, Allison.
Really quick, I think it's important that we have a moment of silence.
That's right.
We honor, every life that's been taken throughout this time. I heard somebody say that this COVID-19 isn't the only battle we're facing. It's still COVID-16-19. It's the one that we've been fighting, the pandemic that, I think it's funny that when COVID-19 came, we shut down everything. So I asked, when another person that looks like me die, why don't we shut down everything? Right. I'm an essential. My life. So let's respect. We have somebody here from the Chicago Symphony Orchestra who's going to play and just give whatever's on his heart at this moment right now to this play. So please silence your. You can just silence your phone. You need to close your eyes. If you want to stand, if whatever you want to kneel, whatever you want to do. Let's just respect this moment and whatever time that he does, let's just respect it. think that had to be up in 3-4 minutes. But remember, he was on his neck for 8. So just process through your mind. 8 minutes of being on your neck. 46 cents. Man. Then I think about Breonna Taylor in our house sleep. In our house sleep. You know what that does to people? I had a young girl told me she was listening to the story so much that she was afraid to go to sleep. So when we talk about people being oppressed, it's trauma. It might not be in the most physical form, but it's still impacting our lives. Man, I tell you, man, reach out to your black and brown. Reach out to everybody that is hurting, man. That's the least you can do is reach out, check on people, encourage people. Before we leave, I'm gonna have my brother come and speak. Both of my brothers come and speak. Just share what's on their heart. They have a vision for Chicago, and they're connected all throughout the United States and LA, and been led one of the largest marches in LA. And so I think it's important, as she said, that this is our generation. And I tell people is that we're not gonna say the generation before us didn't do anything. Because man, think about it. We're standing on the shoulders of those who come before us. But it's our time to do our part. And share what's on his heart, and then we'll go on with that, and then we'll go on from there.
Right.
First of all, thank you for everyone that's out here that came out here today. Can we just take a second and put it up for Jamil? One thing that's really interesting to me is that I actually spoke to Julio, last September that we talked, and he was planning on doing an event, something not similar to this, but something I believe that would have been just as impactful, and it ended up getting canceled because of COVID and whatnot. But one thing that I'm coming to learn is that what God has ordained, no one can stop. You see, something that we don't realize a lot of times through our lives and through experiences and things that we go through is that everything happens for a reason. Whether it's good or whether it's bad. And sometimes the tension between that truth is now acknowledging what's the purpose, what's the good that can come out of this. And it's hard to look at something that's so tragic and terrifying and take a step back and say, wait, is there a possibility or an opportunity for good? But I want to let you know something. Without darkness, there would be no opportunity for light.
Yeah.
See, I want to say that again because I don't think y'all understand what I'm saying. Without darkness, there would be no opportunity for light. See, there's a lot of evil. There's a lot of injustice. There's a lot of killing. There's a lot of murder. But there's also a lot of light. And so what's happened over time is that if people can be divided, the light is not as powerful. But see, darkness made a mistake when it tried to come on our turf. Darkness made a mistake when it tried to take us out. Because we're more united than we've ever been. We're more united than we've ever been. We're more united than we've ever been. We are more united than we've ever been. We are more united than we've ever been. I don't think you guys hear me today on June 20th. We are more united than we've ever been.
That's right.
See, I want you to understand something. See, what happens is that in our lives, we all are going through different spaces, and different stages and states of our life. We're like, what's happening? What's going on? But see, if you can be so divided in your mental state, then you can forget the beauty of unity. So when they said United States, let's show them that it actually makes a difference when we stand united. When they said United States, let's show them that we're actually here united. The division of darkness cannot stop the light. And light is love. Light is the sacrifice that he made and the life that he gave and the places that he stood and that he marched and what he stood for. And I recognized something. I said, MLK was only 39 when he died. I see so many people here that are under the age of 39. And when I heard that and when I remembered that, it begged this question to my mind. I'm only 21, going to be 22. And so you can look at that and say, how do I change the world? Like he changed the world, but that was MLK. But see, MLK didn't know he was going to change the world. MLK didn't even see the change that he made. He didn't see you sitting here today with different colors of people, but that's what he fought for. And yet the fight still goes on. I was talking to a friend, and they were telling me the responsibility of changing the world is so hard, it's so difficult, it's too much. I don't know where I fit in. And I said, first of all, you've been fitted not to fit.
Come on.
Like you've actually been created with purpose, and the second you become normal is the second you've lost your purpose. See, the reason why we can stand here in the beauty of diversity is because all of us acknowledge that we're not the same. Your fingerprints are not the same. Then even if you had an identical twin, the fingerprints are not the same. That's the first part of changing your world, knowing that your difference makes a difference.
Come on.
That's the first part of changing the world. The second part of changing the world is that change starts with you. Don't look and expect to see change if you're not willing to live the change that you're crying out for. Because see, it's popular when change is a trend. See, you can march with me when it's a trend. You can defend me when it's a trend. But what happens when tomorrow is not a trend? What happens when tomorrow is not a trend? My life is not a trend. Truth is not a trend. Justice is not a trend. Equality is not a trend. And so it starts with saying this. I'm not interested in taking on the world. I'm interested in changing my world. Because see, if change starts in my heart, it has no choice but to flow through me.
Come on.
And so if change flows through me, then I can change my world and the world of my friend. If I can touch another life, then I change their world. And then change someone else's world. And then change someone else's world. And next thing I know, I've changed the world. Next thing I know, I've played a part of the puzzle to a bigger picture of purpose. Because of my passion for peace. Y'all said that was a lot of peace. See, I want to let you know something. We can talk about change and whatnot. We talk about Martin Luther King Jr. and what he did, but Martin Luther King Jr. stood for peace. Like I said, I think peace is effective. Peace is not passive, it's passionate. But Martin Luther King Jr. modeled his life, modeled his message. See, we can talk about, oh yeah, MLK said this, MLK said that, but MLK was standing on the words of Jesus Christ.
Say that again.
See, we want change without looking to the source. See, change is a human condition. The issue is that hatred is a human condition. Anger, pride, it's a human condition. And so MLK said, you know what, we're gonna march with love. And he led one of the greatest protests to this day. But whenever I think of this, I can't help but remember that Jesus Christ led a protest to the cross of Calvary. Jesus Christ led the greatest silent protest to the cross of Calvary. And when he didn't say hands up, don't shoot, he said hands open, here's heaven. And he stood for every life, for every person. And so the Bible says, how can you say that you love God yet hate your brother? Because if we realize that we all are made in the image of God, we realize that each and every person that's here is a part of the God that you claim that maybe you know or maybe you don't, but he made everyone here. I want to let you know something. The Bible says that Jesus is the Prince of Peace. Peace is power.
Come on.
If you know Jesus, you have peace. If you have peace, you have power. If you have power, you can change the world through your purpose. I came to tell everyone here today that as we stand for truth and justice, no truth, no justice, know who he is because he's a person. And yet he lived and died for every person. And so I come to you here today, a person that's passionate. The last thing that I'll say, I was talking to my friend. And after this whole situation happened, Ahmaud Arbery, his death made me sad. George Floyd's death made me mad. Because how can you see someone hurting and not help? See, I might look different than you, but I have a heart. Does the color of my skin determine the fact that I am still entitled to life? People say uphold the law, but what happens to the law of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? But does it only apply to one kind of group of people? Does that apply to me? When you see me, do you see free? And when I say see free, I mean see beyond the barriers and the biases and the prejudice that you have been living in your entire life, whether you know it or not. The truth of change and the challenge of change is looking beyond yourself and into yourself and saying, wait, do I really hold a bias that I've not been aware of? And as I was talking to my friend, we were talking and he said, bro, because we work at the same place, and he said, bro, one thing I've realized is that every single time we talk, at least once or twice a week, we talk about a racial recap of how we have to change something about ourselves to feel safe or fit in. See, you can say slavery was abolished, but what happens when mental slavery is still here? What happens when that doesn't disappear? What happens when that sparks fear? What happens when you don't know if your next breath is near because someone can steal it away from you? So now when I walk into the store, I can't wear a hoodie, or I'm afraid to wear a hoodie, or when a cop gets behind me, I don't know what's going to happen. If something bad's happening, I don't know if I'm calling the law or if I'm calling someone that's going to hurt me. And I say all that to say, see, I can have all of that but still be peaceful and passionate. I can still go through experiences of racism and being undervalued, and yet no human should ever be undervalued. And so what I want to let you know today, the march goes on.
That's right.
The march goes on. I'm going to say it one more time. The march goes on. Oh, you want me to say it again? The march goes on. 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 The march goes on in your home. The march goes on at your job. The march goes on with your friends. The march goes on with your family. But most importantly, the march starts with your heart. March here first so you can see it there next. Thank you.
We're gonna have one more speaker, and then we're gonna walk our way back. But I just want to say thank you guys.
Thank you.
And it's.
Thank you.
I remember this day. I grew up on 1535 North Waller, and I remember, my parents got divorced. My entire family worked in law. They served for this country. My viewpoint on law enforcement never had an issue because I was so instilled in my own vision. And then I had to get out of my comfort zone. I believe that's why a lot of us here are still where we are. We're comfortable here. Because if I can shut up, guess what? My friends who are white as well, they won't be intimidated. I realize I have a following on social media, and I have a lot of good people who are not black, who don't look like me. And the moment they said, Jaleel, what happened to your other posting? And Jaleel, why are you being like this? And I realized, those are my friends. Because anytime the issue that hurt me, you want me to shut up about it to make you feel comfortable, you're part of the issue. family to every white, black, blue, yellow, Trump orange, whoever. I say have these conversations, even if it means losing something or someone. Because I can't think of a thing in life that we have wasn't because of a sacrifice of somebody else's life. I think about everything we have, from the land we live on to the life we have, was because somebody else died. And I had a conversation with my white friends. I said, march with me, walk with me, do whatever you want. But the day my life comes on the line, show up then.
That's right.
If you're willing to die for me, that's a different life. That shows a different talk. So you can march, keep marching, keep setting up committees. But most importantly, hold these people accountable in your communities. Stop spending your money on the same people that don't pour back into these communities. I challenge every white person here. It's going to make you very uncomfortable. But get out your house. Go to these inner cities. If you got to go door to door, ask people, what can I do for you? How can I help you? I told one of my white friends, I love that you have white privilege, because I want you to use it to make a difference. I can't take it away. It's there. Nobody can take that away. That's what our country's been embedded on. So if you ask, what can I do? I didn't choose to be white. You can choose to use that for something good. Use that to change your community. And it might make some elected officials upset, and that's okay. Nobody was here to make everybody happy. That's why there's customer service. So we're gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna let my brother speak, and then we'll be gone.
Can we just continue to clap and give it up for all these speakers and everyone? This is where the change happens, and this is where the difference is made. This is where the fire is lit. And I always say that you have two situations that happen with fire. Fire can destroy something, or it can cook something. And I really believe that this is cooking something. This is peaceful. This is what like Jeremy was saying earlier, peace is power. And I know there's a lot that's been said, and so I don't want to hype you up exactly, but I thought it would be cool maybe to tell you a story. There was a man named George Floyd that was brutally killed by a police officer. You saw that happen with your own eyes. And then you processed it, you thought about it, you cried over it, you were confused about it, and then you went to sleep. And you slept, and you slept, and you slept. And then you woke up. Then you got up. You decided to do something. You decided to put on your mask, make sure you had hand sanitizer in the back of your car, and make a sign, a cardboard sign, that speaks of justice, that speaks of truth, that speaks of what humanity should stand for. You came out on these streets in the hot with a bunch of other people. We're breaking all kinds of social distancing rules because your heart is beating. You're alive. And you're awake now. You're awake now. I'm telling you a story, not of someone else, but the story of you. This is the story of you. You decided to move with passion, move beyond prejudice. And maybe you're even dealing with some own prejudices in your own life or your own heart. I'm going to tell you that doesn't disqualify you from being in the race. That doesn't disqualify you from being in the conversation. Prejudice is a poison in our society. It's invisible in the air. It's just like coronavirus. But what's different about coronavirus is coronavirus doesn't discriminate. It takes whoever it sees. But prejudice
discriminates. It looks and assigns stereotypes to a human being and says that a life should be taken based off of a skin color or a height or whatever it might look like, a cultural background, a tribe that you've come from. I want to let you know today that if you're concerned or wondering about your purpose, I'm going to tell you what your purpose is. Your purpose is to fight for every other human being that's got a beating heart. Your purpose is to stand for every man and every woman and child that you see being oppressed. Your purpose is to rise up when you see something, when justice is down, you rise up. Somebody shout, rise up. Rise up. Somebody say it again like you mean it. Say, rise up. Rise up. This is your time. This is your moment. You are humanity. You don't have to be like every other system and every other thing that's come before you, but you can be the generation. We can be the people to see this thing change when we choose to rise up. Oh, come on, you got to be woke right now. When you rise up, it's up to you. It's up to us. If we don't do anything else in our lives, if we don't do anything else with our existence, can we die knowing that we stood up for someone else? Can we die knowing that in the next chapter of our lives, that we made a difference in this world, that somebody else walked away knowing that their life was made better because of our sacrifice? This is what you were made to do. This is what you were born to do. This is the reason why life and blood is in your veins. Not to make just a ton of money, not just to drive fancy cars, not just to have 1,000 followers or more on Instagram, but for you to rise up for every single person that's being broken down and oppressed and say, I'm here with you. This is what you were created to do. This is your purpose. When a heart stands up for another beating heart, that's where love begins. So, we're at the end of the story. I want to ask you this question. What are you going to do in the next chapter? This is your story. It starts with you. Own it. Rise up! Rise up!
You know, I don't even want to use this anymore. So I hope you guys can hear me. I look on today and I say, this isn't the beginning, this isn't the end, and this ain't even in the middle. It's just a journey that we'll keep fighting. I believe that this is going to go on some more. It's going to take, honestly, it's going to take some more people that don't look like me to die for things to change. It made me look at today when the police obstructed us from coming in because it's private property. Yet on the west and south side, when looting started, nobody was protecting private property.
I'm out. I'm out.
So what are you really protecting? Are you protecting the wealth and not the working class people that try to make it upcoming? No, you don't. So that excuse that CPD gives all the time, miss me with it. I read something the other day, they wanted to get rid of the records. Sounds very scamish and sneaky to me. And I believe that we have to hold them accountable. And guess what? If the people that prosecute them don't hold them accountable, we get rid of them. We get rid of everybody that's stopping the way for justice to come. That's right. Don't be afraid. When George Aubrey, when the guy that recorded his killing, you know what I saw when they didn't want to arrest Rowdy? I saw about 15 black men and women take their Second Amendment right, stand outside his home, no violence, just letting him know that we're here to stay and we ain't going nowhere. We are going to police our own communities. It's time we do for us. And I'm not saying, oh, there's an issue and that all police are bad. What I'm saying is that if a police officer doesn't hold the other police officer accountable, then you're just as bad too. I watched our country do a whole initiative, I'm bullying. If you see bullying, say something. I didn't see a police say if you see something, do something. But it lets you know the agenda for our country. It lets you know we put other agendas ahead of the people that are really oppressed, and we say, well, you know, we'll work on that. I challenge you guys, watch the movie Just Mercy. Yes. Watch Selma. Watch LA 92. Watch all these things to encourage yourself. Watch these black produced movies and TV shows and documentaries. Watch them. And it's not to completely change your mind, it's just simply to educate you. Because I believe it's ignorance that we have. I believe we all lack somewhere. Nobody out here is perfect. Right. But I believe if we learn each other's community, our lifestyles, our differences, and not try to, well, I'm black, so I'm just gonna hold mine in and don't forget about you. Then I become part of the problem. But I believe if I say, you know what, you're white, I'm black, I don't understand you, you don't understand me. Let's get to know each other. Let's get to know our difference. Let's love each other. You come over to my cookout. I don't know what your potato salad look like. It's good. She said it's good. Come on over and let's do that. Stop moving into communities that just look like you. Stop it. If your realtor says, I think this is a nice neighborhood, ask them why. The school district's nice. Ask them why is it nice. Ask them who lives in this community. Because I can bet you those, when they say it's a nice school, I bet they're nicely funded. I bet the school is more than 80% white. I believe that there's about the best PTA department in the world. They come together. But I say you go over to the community next to yours and you hold them accountable. And so before we leave today, last thing I want to do is pray. And if you don't even believe in prayer, use it as an encouragement. Use it as hope. Use it as something. And so you just bow your head. If you want to come closer, do that. Let's just use this moment. Heavenly Father, Lord God, we thank you. Thank you for gathering, God, people from every color, every nation, every God that don't look like us, God. Because God, today, God, we just want to see love. And there's no color to love, God. So God, I ask that God, you touch every heart, every mind. God, you just protect those who, God, are without. And God, you give to those that are lacking. You fulfill those without, God. And you just continue to be the blessing that you are. And though trials and tribulations will come, God, that God, we just say thank you. God, thank you that, God, when that life was sacrificed just like you, because you were a black man killed by the law, we say thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice. And God, I tell people, God, that this is the day that the Lord has made, and so I'm going to rejoice in it. And so, God, we just ask that you touch on those who are still confused, to heal their hearts, heal their minds, and God, allow those racial barriers to be broken in every chain and every cycle. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
You guys have a blessed, amazing day.
Thank you.
We're going to walk back. Really quick, I want to have the opportunity to connect with those who want to connect, because this doesn't end here. So if you have the time, I'll wait up here for a little bit to connect with everybody, learn what we can do next. If you have somewhere to go, go. We'll still connect. I'll be on the social media, keep going on. Love you guys so much. Thank you.
Please talk to them.
Of course. Of course. Dan Lime needs to talk to these people. You guys just witnessed a lot of powerful stuff. Let's go this way because it seems like that's how the line's going. And that way we can get involved here. Right now here at the Millennium Park Amphitheater, we've heard a lot of different organizers and people just speak on what they're trying to do for their communities and that type of stuff. They've given us an opportunity to connect with them, so we're going to take a chance to talk and just let them spread any more of their message that they want to, man. But, ooh boy, I gotta say, it was a lot of impactful things that happened today, and I'm just very glad, one, that the people watching, that you got to see it, and we're glad to be here in the midst of all of this, really letting the truth be heard. You know what I mean? That's very, very important. So, like I said, we're gonna go here. We have a lot of people congregating, so we're gonna get our chance to talk to whoever's going on. Radeski, how are you doing, man?
I'm staying sanitized out here. Oh, it's a blessing. Yeah, I got you guys. You know what I'm saying? Bam, bam. Man, it's been a great experience. I didn't know we were going in here. I was a little nervous going in. It was crazy. I mean, just with the cops and stuff like that tried to stop us from entering. The speakers here, they're all young and talented, and all these foundations. They got like the orchestra, the violin guy. I used to play violin.
That's a real take.
Oh, jeez. Took me back to third grade.
That's a real take, man. Like, yes, we've seen a lot of crazy stuff out here today, man. I'm very thankful. So yeah, we're gonna try and go in here and speak to everybody. Yeah, I'll go around here and try and speak, just get a feel for who. I'm so sorry, sir, for bumping into you. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Excuse me. Do you mind saying? I'm sorry. We're with the People of Comedy. We're a comedy network on Facebook, but we've been covering these protests and everything, just seeing what's going on the street with everybody. We're very moved by what happened. We wanted to talk to you.
Thank you.
Just tell us a little about yourself, if you can, for the people watching. What brought you here and everything.
Yeah, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, so it's just the weather is fire. It's kind of hot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I lived in Seattle for a minute, and I've been in Illinois for about 8 years.
Okay.
And one thing just growing up, I've been super passionate about purpose. And I think that a lot of people, they're conflicted with like who they are because they feel like they might lack some sort of purpose. And so when people know that value is something that's intrinsic, they will understand that they can make a difference wherever they are, in whatever they're doing. I had so many people talking to me. They're like, hey, I'm not working. I feel like I don't have any purpose. I feel like I'm not doing anything. My purpose in my work. And one thing that I came to realize is that your purpose is not in what you do. Your purpose is in who you are. And the reason why the issue of racism bothers me so much is because if you can strip someone from who they are, then you have removed the feeling and the need for them to impact change through their purpose. You've literally dismantled it. And so I'm so passionate about seeing people and knowing that people have the opportunity to have their voices be heard, to have justice happen, and to also know that they're not alone in whatever struggle they're going through. And I think when we realize that as a community, as we realize that as a people, then the change that we're able to make it reverberates. Because each civil rights leader knew what they were doing, they knew their purpose, and they were willing to die for it. And the thing is that a lot of people, they want a microwave miracle, you know what I mean? They want something to happen immediately.
Yeah, they think it's gonna be good by July. Man.
Exactly, right? The 4th of July, you know what I'm saying, right? Yeah, we're good. But I think what they forget is that change takes a lifetime.
Yeah.
Miracles take a lifetime. What if you're a walking miracle and you don't know it? What if you're someone else's miracle and you don't know it?
Yeah.
And so when you realize that change takes a lifetime, then you're willing to wait for it. You're willing to have your blood, sweat, and tears poured out over it, and most importantly, you're willing to stand with it and for it.
Well, thank you so much. That is for the people watching, man. That is exactly what we want to let you guys see. That's the stuff that they don't put on television. That's why we started doing this, because we have a lot of followers, people that watch what's going on in our generation, our age, and they don't get to see like what's happening among us. They see what we're being told, man. So we appreciate coming to things like this, meeting people like you. Please tell us your name again.
Yeah, my
any
name
way
is,
we can follow you, anything like
it's
that.
It's Jeremy Haynes, and my Instagram is HaynesJer. So Haynes Jer. Yeah, that's mostly what I use Instagram.
Awesome, awesome, man. Yeah, we want to talk to everybody if we can. We're gonna try to move down. Maybe talk to Jalil, all of our organizers. Hey, yes. Thank you so much for everything that you said. Nice to meet you. Would you have anything you'd like to say for the people following us?
Yeah, absolutely. Just remember that this is bigger than just this movement. When we're here in Chicago, I'm from Flint, Michigan, man. Flint, Michigan still don't have clean water, and it's more than that. That's targeting black people. That's targeting poor people. I grew up really, really poor, but I'm white, so privilege is a fucking scale, right? Like as a white person who is transgender and is poor, I have struggles, but I'll always have less struggles than a poor transgender person who is black. And that's the one thing I just want everyone to know is look out for your trans people, look out for LGBTQ. We're all here, and we're gonna stay out here. I'm gonna be out any more marches in Chicago. If you see this red bag, I got medical supplies, I got you.
Yeah.
And just stay angry, but stay safe.
And thank you so much for that. Thank you. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate everything that you've done for us. We appreciate all these people here, man. That's just saying, that's the message. These communities are coming together. That's very important. I want to try to get over here. Radesi's over here talking to our youth movement. We're gonna try and make our way. Hopefully, we can get to all the people. Like that. As you can see, though, we're gonna interview. Sir, do you mind Oh, sorry, I'm stepping. They over here talking. Danny Lime is just gonna jump right in there. Yes.
Y'all take care. Stay safe.
Would you be okay with talking to us here, if that's all right?
Yeah. Can I ask who you guys are?
Yeah, we're the People of Comedy Network. We're a comedy, live comedy. So instead of doing our usual shows, we've been covering these protests and like getting in the community, showing what's going on, letting people see, the message, the truth, So we just wanted to talk to other people here because we were very like moved by what happened, by what's going on and everything, So, and especially you. I know you said about an organization you were part of, things like that. If you want to talk on that, if you don't want to, it's okay. Like I said, we're not going to.
Whatever you guys need. Do you need me to look into the camera? Do I need to look straight? Okay.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Like this is literally for the people, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let's get comfortable, man. I might have to use some slang in there too.
Hell
Man.
yeah, man. Exactly.
So, do you have a question or you want me just to speak on it?
Honestly, just speak on like what brought you here, anything, honestly, we just let you kind of fly. If you do.
This is your first march, correct? So why now? Why is this the most the catalyst for you?
Yeah, so personal and public reasons. So my son just turned 1, and my girls is appreciate it, man. And my girl being an essential worker, we don't do the baby. Well, not saying we don't do the babysit. We don't do daycare. So if she's gone, I have to be home. So my number one way that I not just march, but I protest is by raising my son as being a black man in America.
Oh yeah.
So that's more so on a personal reason, but more so on a professional reason. I'm a co-founder of a nonprofit, A Greater Good Foundation. And I looked at it like everyone has their role to play, right? Everyone has their role to play in the protest. This isn't my first protest. I've been protesting for over 4 years ever since we started this work. But this is my first physical march. My number one job as an organizer is to organize supporters, volunteers, influencers, people I could come in connection with and really get through moving the first phase, which is education. We got to understand the system we're in. Second phase, that's when we're going to get out and about. We just need people to keep that same energy. We need people to stay committed to the same way they want to march. We need people to stay committed to being able to change the paradigm. Because the thing is, and this is honest to God truth, play this back if you need to. If we change laws, if we change policies, if we change procedures, if we don't change the mentality, nothing will change. That's it.
Hey, we appreciate that, man. Once again, just tell us your name, your organization.
Yes. Cody Cotton, co-founder of a Greater Good Foundation. My brothers Chuck Carter, Josh Easter couldn't be here with us, but they're here in spirit. They're moving hard. They're out there in Indiana. They're out there on the west side of Chicago doing work, so I have to represent for the organization, and we appreciate it. Appreciate you, Jaleel, Terrence, Shift Chicago. We're here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Like I said, appreciate you, man. We're going to just keep talking. Hopefully. Yes. 1 year old. That's amazing, dude. Yes.
I was so upset being on home, seeing all the riots going on.
Yeah, and you just like, he over here spitting up. You just
he a big boy though.
Yeah.
He turned 1, so I'm just like, yo, you good.
You good, yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, man. Yeah. I think we have opportunity to talk to our main organizer here, which is, I think, pardon me, guys. Pardon me? Yes. We're gonna get over here in just a moment here, guys. Anybody else? Did you like to say something for us, sir? We're asking anybody if they want anything to say, man. Anything?
I'm just all here for the movement. I don't really have anything to say. I'm just trying to show support.
Appreciate that. No, that's all we can ask for, man. All we can ask for. That's what's up. I wish. Eventually, we're gonna speak with he's speaking to Madam President, so we don't want to get in the way of that. But like you said, guys, you guys see a lot of good stuff happening here. Sorry, watch your back. They're talking together. Yeah, so we'll go over here. Good. This is it. This is all, guys. These are the sights and sounds, what's going on. People are still just kind of milling about, just waiting, just kind of connecting, talking to each other. And so that's why we're still here, trying to get to know people and speak with everybody. Yes. Yeah, no problem. Please. We are, we've been recognized, baby. Danny Lime is moving up to the big leagues. Thank you again, everybody watching here. You're tuning into the People of Comedy. We are usually a comedy network, but we're bringing you live coverage from all of our protests and all the demonstrations here in Chicago. So, we did pay to park. Yes, don't worry about it. You know what? No justice, no peace, baby. All right, exactly. I am gonna check on my paid parking though, because they will give me a ticket. They ain't gonna care. They're not gonna care about any of this. If anybody here watching it, you want Venmo me a couple of dollars, and I'm just playing. You don't have to do that. But we do have other donation efforts that we do. Oh, here we go. They just reminded me. We do have other. I'm just gonna add a couple more minutes to it.
But see, I know the mayor, she's all right, she's not the best. I don't want her locking up the
Okay. I got it. We got more time, James. Save this. Yes. Thank you for speaking to us, man. We appreciate you. We know you organize this event, right? Just so you know about us, we're the People of Comedy Network. We're usually a comedy group. We produce a lot of comedy, like podcast shows and things like that. But we decided to switch to cover protests ever since everything happened. So we wanted to just bring like truth to what's going on. We want to let people see what's happening on the streets at these protests. We haven't had a lot of chance to talk to organizers too, because a lot of the ones we've been so big. Sometimes they get a little inaccessible, but we just wanted to just get close to you. Your name is Jalil, correct? Yes. Just people watching here, like I said, whatever you want to say, about yourself, any questions that we can ask you. Just like, how did you're 19, right? What compelled you to put something like this together, man? Obviously, in light of what's going on.
I've been a leader my entire life. I've been doing stuff, but I wasn't the best of leaders. Like I believe we're all leaders, but sometimes we're leading the wrong things. And so for me, I was leading the wrong thing. I was leading negative people. I was leading bad things, and then I realized that there was no positive outcome coming out of it. And so I told myself that I want to make a difference. And so it started in high school when my principal and my administration threatened to expel me because I wanted to stand up for the injustice and for the issues that we're facing in our school. And from that moment, it just lit a fire in my heart ever since. And so with everything that was going on, I've been traveling a lot. I've been from Memphis and Louisiana. I just flew in yesterday, where our establishment said, I waited a few weeks. I said, I don't want to do a protest in the middle while people are angry. Like, I want people to be peaceful but angry at the same time. But I feel like when something first happens, our emotions are here. And so I wanted for those people that are hired to come in and ruin good protests to leave and go on back to your community, so we can actually come together and have these conversations and have this opportunity. So I just want to say thank you guys for covering this, because mainstream media, they were here for a second.
No camera. I don't think we saw them at all.
Second and left. So it was. I saw one, and that was it. So, but they were here for the rioting and the looting. So it just goes to show you that we have to be our media. I'm an inspiring journalist. I've done work for Fox and CNN. I've done work for many people, and even I know their agenda isn't always for the best of the people. And so my goal and my understanding is that we can continue to have these conversations, continue to have these marches. The more awareness and knowledge we bring, the more people understand.
Yeah, thank you, man. And that's a very wise thing to say, man. You definitely have a mind that's well beyond your years. I can see you've taken your experience and moved it to impact, our community and stuff. You know what I mean? So like I said, we appreciate you, first of all, talking to us and putting this thing together, bringing people together. Before we go, if there's anything you want to say about yourself, anything you want to add, any organization you want to tell the people watching, please do so before we move on.
For more information, you guys can follow me on Instagram at I am Jaleel Anthony, which is IAMJALEEL ANTHONY, and under there has the foundation that's going to change the world. It's called The Shifting, and we're not something new. We're just something to support the foundations that are already here that are helping the communities, and we want to bring that connection and unity so we're all on one agenda, unifying the youth, unifying communities, and bridging the gaps together. So follow me on there, and then reach out and let me know, and then let's work together from your community and your household.
Yes, you guys will see that, and I'm going to make sure I take that information down from you so we can reshare it on our page and everything like that. So thank you again. We're the people of comedy, man. We're for the people, man. That's what we're here doing. And we just appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, you be blessed, man. Appreciate you. Anything else that you would like to see us cover before we move on? Yeah, sir. And thank you too, man. We saw you standing up there before we got, because I know we're getting all the organizers. So if there's anything you want to say about yourself, anything you want to say about what brought you here, compelled you, you can talk to us, man. Yeah.
Oh man, Jaleel Anthony is a brother, man. We grew up together since diapers is our little joke. And myself and my company, the Striving Company, which is a company solely based on inspiring generations to reach for their goals, strive for greatness, and just be positive about themselves. That's really just the image that I'm going for. It's what I was raised on, was making sure that no matter what, go for mine. So I wear it on my chest and I hold it in my heart.
Is that what this is?
Yes, sir. This my clothing line also. So with the company's foundation.
We got to close it. Uh-oh, snap. We about to get some shirts to the people, baby.
Yeah, it's a clothing line. It's a company, a foundation, and it's slowly becoming a movement and a lifestyle. And that's what when I saw this, when he brought it to my attention, man, I had to tag along because, man, I really just want to inspire my next generation. This whole thing is simply it's history making, and future generations are going to look back and look on us and say, well, I knew those guys, and I knew them. I grew up with them, man. It's just an honor and a blessing to even be a part of this.
Yeah, it really echoes what we've seen throughout our lives growing up. You know what I mean? And
it's what Martin Luther King fought for. Yeah. He fought to give us a chance to live it, and since we're not living it, we're going to continue to fight that he died fighting.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's it. Appreciate you so much, man. Thank you, and thank everybody for being here. But we're going to make our way. We're going to begin to make our way back. We do have that parking, so as we you ready? Ready? Yes. Gentlemen, once again, thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Take care. Yes, please. Let's get your information right now. Cool. So I'll give you a few things. So I am Dwayne Murphy Jr. right here. So
Jaleel, J-A-L.
I still haven't done it.
E-E-L.
Yeah, I saw.
Anthony. And then do me a favor. Can you DM me and tell me too so I can add you?
Yes, sir.
Because I have a lot of weird friend requests.
Okay, is this you?
That's the first one I did.
All right, cool.
Thank you guys so much.
And I'll send you the message right now.
Send them the network too.
Oh yeah, people of comedy.
Whatever you have, I want to share. I want to get out because you guys have been the real media covering this.
Oh, thank you so much.
Out there, so
this is our 14th day.
14th day.
Out.
Yeah.
So
very basically as much as we can. We're here, like, you know, and that's the thing, like being among the people.
How do you guys stay funded?
Right now, the public, yeah. We take
Venmo,
over.
Patreon.
Definitely connect so I can get you guys connected with other donors to help keep funding.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Have a blessed day.
You too, man. You
Take
too.
care.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. I'm just gonna send that. All right. I just sent him that message, and we're gonna go ahead and make that connection. You see that? We still got Rodesky out here making connections too. This is what it's all about, man. It's a good thing. I'm gonna move on this side so I can actually pull my mask all the way down and drink some water. Daddy Lime is thirsty. All right. Go for it.
Been holding that in for 2 hours. Holy shit.
Man. Changing the world, you know. Makes you thirsty, baby.
Makes you gassy too.
It makes you thirsty. Makes you thirsty, gassy. It's the hard work. It's what they don't tell you. It's what they don't tell you. Again, for everybody watching, anybody here who is tuned into what we're doing, we appreciate everything that you have done to support us. Thank you for all the people who have, donated or given us equipment, given us tips on where to go, places to find. That type of stuff, man. None of this can be done without the people who are here watching, man. This message cannot get out to you, without you helping us try and make it happen. So we want to continue to show our appreciation to all those people in there. If there's any other things that people find out about what's going on in the next few days, please, you can contact us. You can let us know. We will find ways to get there. Also, if there are things that we're doing at these protests and you want us to see, you want us to cover something specific, let us know, comment, chat. Okay, we monitor those chats. We pay attention to what you say, man. We're about as accessible of news as you will ever get. Okay, let us know what you want to see, and we're going to go in there and find that for you. All right, I don't think you've ever seen any news like that, so we are definitely we're on James, we are doing something that nobody is doing, bro. I just thought about that, dude. This is crazy. So, once we get Rodesky once Rodesky finishes his making his chat, he's met a lot of photographers, a lot of other organizations, that type of stuff. We'll be able to continue moving. I can do a sign out if you want.
Plug the Patreon, plug the.
Okay, I'll do the thing. All right, so what I'm going to do is turn it over to our executive producer, James, and let him give you all of our Patreon, Venmo information for whatever you want to do to support us, man, and we will continue to keep bringing this fight to you. All right, so thank you guys once again. I have been Dwayne Murphy Jr., a.k.a. the #1 newsman in Chicago, Danny Lime, baby. All right, yes. It's all my lime wedges. Thank y'all.
Thank you guys once again so much for hold on. Oh, never mind. Go ahead. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We're going to stay live until we get back to the car, but a special shout out to Victoria Thompson, who donated to our Venmo. Thank you so much. You're keeping us out here. And then there was a Patreon donation as well. Let me pull that up really quick. Someone signed up for $25, which again keeps us out here in the streets and away from corporate sponsors. It's Mary Shino. Thank you so much. $25. Honestly can't even believe it. You're helping make this change happen, and we appreciate you. If you guys want to sign up, our Venmo is at @StandUp. That goes to me directly, so I can upgrade equipment and pay correspondence and do all that other stuff. Or you can sign up for our Patreon. That's patreon.com/peopleofcomedy. Again, if you're new to us, we are usually a podcast / live show network with comedians around Chicago, but we've been out here for, I believe this is our 14th day out at these protests, and there's no stopping. We're going to be out here every day. So I'm going to give the mic back to Dwayne here in a second. I'm going to walk to the car and sign out. But today was extremely peaceful. The police were even cooperative with us, which is insane. If you go back in the video, you can see one of the lieutenants telling one of the regular officers to let us through. So there was some cooperation between law enforcement and us today, which was fantastic. But we'll be signing out here in a minute. I believe there's a protest in Millennium Park if you're wanting to come out at 6 o'clock tonight. And I think there's another one on the south side as well, starting at 4. We'll get exact details for that soon. But I'm going to stop talking because I'm not very good at it. So thank you guys once again so much. Our Venmo is at @StandUp. Our Patreon is patreon.com/peopleofcomedy. We're supported by ourselves and people like you. Thank you so much. I'm giving it back to Dwayne.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right, take the mic.
Yes, sir. All right. We have done it. All right. We've done it, guys. Today was a good one. We got a lot of good coverage today. And I'm pretty, look at my man. Oh, they got they said Paul Blart down. Oh, they just said Paul Blart out here. There we go. What's happening? Yes, sir. Hey, how are you? How are you?
Park Rangers.
Man, they done sent, look at man, look. They got my man. Yo, it's so funny, bro. It's not. Obviously, he ain't gonna do that. Dude, yeah, I was gonna say, Jalil, he was very entertaining, bro. He was like, yeah, we don't know what your potato salad. I was like, we don't know what your potato. Yeah, brother. Come on, young man. Rumble, young man, rumble. Bro, this is a good one. This was a really good one. Like the violin, like all that.
Yeah.
Going in.
Yeah, they got someone from the actual orchestra.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think someone from the orchestra when you first, just think of anyone donating time. No one from the fucking. Can I curse on this? Oh, okay. A world-renowned orchestra player, violin player.
Dude, I closed my eyes and there were moments where I thought like multiple violins were playing.
Yeah,
and then
chords.
Yeah, I was like, this dude is next level.
Yeah, this is real.
Yeah.
This guy went to all his violin lessons.
Skip one, man. Stayed after, man. Learned extra techniques, man.
Yeah, don't quit in 3rd grade like me, dude.
Oh my God, man. Yeah, man, dude, the police stopping us today. There's some of y'all, if you guys are tuning in, you didn't see, we did actually get stopped by the police on our way in here. And that would have been some of the best footage that we could have covered for you guys. If you get the chance, obviously you'll be able to go back, you can rewind and look at it. It was a strong moment, dude, because they well, first of all, it was because Jalil was in front of us, so they let him through. He didn't even realize he walked in, and the cop came and swung the gate. Were you in the front, Jesse, when that happened?
No,
okay.
I was on the side, but I didn't see that part.
Yeah, so that's what we were in the front. So when he went through, this little cop, he just came in with his bike and just like shut the gate and like blocked the bike and everything, right? So then Jalil turns around and goes, why are you stopping the protests and stuff? And then that lady cop came over and goes, well, it's private property, so we didn't. And I was like, and so I'm like, this Millennium Park? It's a public park.
Dude, they be stopping.
Yeah. And so then that's what happened. So we all stopped there for a minute, and obviously, and then they were like getting the coverage and stuff. Do we have a card?
Don't.
No, I have my card, but I can use it to connect you with us.
Kennedy, our candidate for president.
Yes.
Yeah. We wanted to mention that. So
Yes.
I want to know who was it interviewed.
Yeah, we are the people of comedy. This is my card. You don't have a. Do you have a card, James? A bit personal, all right. This is my card. Yeah, if you reach out to me, my email's there, and then I can connect you with all of these guys too, and let you know where we're at. So, yeah, no problem, man. So yeah. So where was I at in the story? Yeah. So when he came there and blocked us, it was like and then the lieutenant commander of the police had to come and say, "Is the park open?" Literally had to ask, "Is the park open?" Looked at this guy, and the guy's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, let them through, man." Like that was like change, bro. That was like in the moment right there. In the moment. It was crazy to see.
That was the first positive interaction I think we've ever gotten on camera.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, they were just like literally walked in front of me and were like, "Yeah, let them through, dude." Yeah.
She was legit though.
Yeah.
She was like, you know what I'm saying? She was very with it. She wasn't like being like a person who seemed like trying to sabotage it or just try to let it fall apart. She was just like more like, no, let's be a solution. I want them to be able to go do what they have to do. Not like, don't be in a way like that. Stupid bicycle cops, dude. I mean, where do they get the balls?
What is that bike? It's like, oh, I'm gonna get my cardio in, baby. Oh, man, I'm ready. I got nothing but energy for these.
I mean, honestly.
Dude, you should have seen him. He swung the bike, dude. It was just like, ha! I was like, yeah, you can't move. It was like, we were like, oh my gosh, dude. I was standing there like, this is gonna be historic right here. This is gonna be great. So watch. Oh man, but woo, man.
I was a little scared too. I was like, oh shit.
Who knows?
Big guy in front, I'm gonna have to fight
Jesus. Here we go. We're all standing here. Like, and they were surrounded too, by the way, because once we crossed this part of the intersection here on Michigan, they had basically surrounded us. So
they were positioned.
They were.
I thought they were joining us.
No. They were walling us in, baby. They were walling us in, dog. And we were like, oh shit. That's why James was getting nervous when we were going into the amphitheater. He's like, bro, we're literally pinned in here.
Yeah, they were kettling us.
Yeah. Dude, I was with those eyebrows over those sunglasses.
Yeah,
you see the eyebrows up.
For those of you guys, James Webb was working very, very hard for you guys, man, to be with him when all this is happening. It's always fun because he'll be like, all right.
2 minutes, I was looking at the exits, making sure there were no cops.
Yeah, James is definitely here for protection. He's like looking for like extraction points, and these are what he says, people. Extraction points. Where are we gonna drop? Basically anything you hear on Apex. Gear up. Yeah, basically. Yeah, gear up. That's to be our thing. Gear up. That's how I get woken up this morning. I got woken up and man, gear up, baby. I was like, oh, I guess I gotta. Why? That's why I build outfits now when I come out. I'm like, I gotta gear up, man. I gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Danny Lime is an image right now. We've already know, man. But that is oh man, that is that has been such an experience though. Today has been absolutely nuts. For those of you that have been tuned in with us for most of the day, we appreciate you. You guys saw this thing from beginning to end. We actually got one from beginning to end, which I don't think we've been able to do. With no issues, no drops. There had to be something going on with I guess maybe a lot of people were trying to use that feed yesterday, man, because we were in the same part of town. We were just over in McKinley Plaza yesterday, and we couldn't keep our feed going, so. There's less interference today, so people got to see a good thing, man. So, yeah, it is. Change is here, guys. Change is here. Change is coming.
This is great. All these artists too are just connecting. I mean, there were some people I was talking to that were I'm naturally an introvert, and all these other artists that are introverts are now coming out, and they're just like, I gotta come out and contribute. All these artists, some of these guys said, I don't come outside ever, but I wanted to connect with other artists and connect with these supporters and connect with these foundations so that they can then donate work and put themselves in position. I literally talked to a guy named Josh and a woman named Yuri. Shout out to Josh and Yuri. Great people. And this guy, he's a filmmaker. He's like, man, I'm going to donate film towards, I'm going to donate artwork. And he's linked up with these other 19-year-old marchers,
I mean, they're trying to, we're going to connect with them too, man. It's good to be out here, seeing all that happen, man, given the opportunity. This is where stuff like that happens, you know what I mean? And it's so perfect, especially coming out of, a quarantine situation. And, like I said, they always talk about everybody being pent up in the house and all that, all that good stuff. You're looking for a reason to come out. And, you know, the fact that we're out here and our hearts have been compelled to not just come out just because we want to be outside, but to come out and, you know, fight for a very worthy cause, something that people have been fighting for since day one. I just watched this movie last night, and even I forgot this. You know what sparked the American Revolution was the death of a black man at the hands of police, all right? Because Crispus Attucks was shot by British soldiers, and they revolted and used that emotion to spark the American Revolution, dude. I saw that in a movie yesterday, and I completely forgot about that, dude. Like, that's something that's not even like addressed very wholeheartedly in our education system even, you know what I mean? Stuff like this is what this country was built. Literally, the thing that sparked this country is what's got us all hyped up right now. So we got to stay out here and keep fighting it, man. We got to stay out here and keep spreading this right message, keep pushing for change, you know what I mean? Because every time we fought for this country in hopes that it would give us the change we wanted, we didn't get it, you know what I mean? Or it would tell us, you know, maybe next time, you know what I mean? Or just give us some more time. And it's just, there's no more time for that. That time is up. We're here. We're trying to make this happen. It's no more, you know, waiting for you to come around to when you feel like you want to do it. We need this right now, okay? People are literally losing their lives every single day, you know what I mean? And it is not getting any easier. There have been over 100 people who have died at the hands of police since the George Floyd thing has happened, since these protests have happened. You know, we've heard about a few, but there have been over 100 since all of this stuff started. So that means, you know, we're being heard, but that change is not happening as quickly as we'd like it to. So we got to stay out here and keep fighting. It takes a long time for all this to come together, man. You heard what that guy said. You heard what he said, man. You know, we talked about we're not going to be have this done by July. We're not going to be, you know what I mean? Not by August, September. It's going to be, it's going to take a long time, man. You know what I mean? There's a strong chance I'll still be talking about this in my old age. And I hope I am, man, because I don't ever feel like we need to stop talking about it. The minute we stop talking about it and move on to other things, you know what I'm saying?
That's why we gotta have kids.
Yes,
so
exactly.
We can tell them the truth.
Exactly. I'll put a little microphone and a lime bucket on my son, all right? And I'll be like, this is your destiny, all right? Yes, little mini lime, all right? I need you to get ready, because you're going to be out here covering something at one point in time. You know what I mean? Little mini limes. Yeah, exactly. I have a little mini lime. I call them lime. Well, I call my fans lime wedges. If you're a lime wedge, please, you know what I mean? I appreciate you. Take the wedge pledge if you like, okay? If you support Danny Lime and his efforts out here on the street, take the wedge pledge. Let everybody know that it's lime time, baby, all right? Young Citrus is here squeezing this news right from the source, baby. I'm bringing you the juice, all right? Yes, with all the vitamins and minerals that you need. Danny Lime, baby. That's a man of the people. Ah, Jesus Christ, yeah.
That was like, what are you on, WWE?
Yeah, man, that's my promo, baby. Go back and watch these, man. I'm still looking for Don Lemon. Somebody needs to tweet me, all right? You know, I love to hear from Shannon Sharp. You know, these are some of my heroes, okay? I need to hear from these people, all right? Danny Lime is out here fighting for you, baby, all right? So I just want you guys to, I just want to thank you guys for being a part of everything that's going on, man. It actually is very humbling for me to be out here and just describe everything that's going on, man. It's just, you know, because, like I said, I don't have all the answers. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't have all the answers. We don't have all of the tools and resources that we need to push things forward, but just to be out here and be a part of what's going on, to stand side by side with everybody and, you know, express our need for this change. It is, it's very much a privilege, if you ask me. And I appreciate it. Appreciate that opportunity. And last but not least, we do appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, you heard about our donation information before. Anything you want to do to help contribute. None of this goes to our pockets. It all goes to the People of Comedy's efforts to keep pushing this message out in the right way. You heard what they said, man. The other news is not covering it. They're not getting in here. You know what I mean? We're in here. We're giving you guys something that no one's ever seen. Real news, real life. You know what I mean? Right at your fingertips, and you can talk to us and be as accessible to us as possible, okay? As soon as you want to see something, we will bring that to you, man. That's why we are the people of comedy. That's what we're here for, right? All right, man. So that's going to be my last little piece of the speech, man. I'm going to go ahead and sign out here. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching and everything. Danny Lime will be back on the streets in the next couple of days. We'll keep you posted on what our next event is and all that stuff. So have a good night. Thank you, guys.
Dan Lime, ladies and gentlemen. Dan motherfucking Lime in Daily Plaza. One last time before we sign out, we're almost to the car, so we're going to log off here. If you want to support our efforts, it goes into my pocket, so I can fund this entire operation. It's me and a small group of people doing this. So my Venmo is at @standupstandup, and the Patreon is patreon.com/peopleofcomedy. Again, this does go to me, so I can run People of Comedy full time. So we do need folks like you to contribute to that if you can. If not, please share the video. Please comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, so we can keep bringing you this message, man. We will be out in these streets as long as it takes. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is People of Comedy signing out. We'll see you guys when we see you guys. Peace.